Why are you interested in studying pronunciation? What is it that exactly you're seeking to do? I asked that question yesterday to some members of our group coaching program. For those of you who don't know, we have a coach program. We meet a couple times a day. And I was trying to see, because I think it's always good to check in, why are they taking these classes? Why are people studying pronunciation? Why are you looking up pronunciation videos online on YouTube? And the clearer you are about what your goals are, the easier it's going to be for you to achieve them. And so today I'm going to kind of walk you through a couple different scenarios so that hopefully we can find out what your actual motivation is, and then we can talk about some next steps. Good morning, guys. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to your daily American English pronunciation show, which is Wake Up American. We are here Monday through Friday, typically between the hours of 7 to 8 a.m. New York, to make sure that you can get in your 5 to 10 minutes of pronunciation practice for today, because hey, that's what it takes. If you are serious about pronunciation, you're going to have to show up for yourself for pronunciation. That's why we are here. The guide you in this process, there's me. Hello, my name's Jeff. It rhymes with breath. It's one of the four keys to a natural sound in American English, including placement, pitch, breath, trying to weaken your consonant sounds or strengthen your vowel sounds. So I think a lot of people, when they study pronunciation, a common goal I hear is I want to sound more native like, or I want to sound more natural when I talk. What's up to Dan? Great to see you. Okay, fine. So I think it's good to have kind of like that big overarching goal. Like, I want to sound more native like. I want to be more effective at communication. Okay, so that's kind of the very first step I would encourage you to do. What's up to David? Is to figure out what's the big goal? What are we moving towards? Okay, so let's imagine that like we're kind of on the first floor of a house and we want to make it to the second floor. Okay, so we can see what's on the second floor. We know what's there. Better communication, sound more like a native speaker, whatever the goal may be. So that's the first thing I would ask you to do. Find out what is the big goal? What's the overarching goal? From there, we can then decide, okay, what are the steps that will take me upstairs? Because upstairs here, I'm right here. How am I going to fix this? I'm here. I want to be up there. So we have to think of steps. And the steps that are going to take us upstairs are much smaller, because I can't just jump up there. I have to take smaller steps to get there. And what's going to be very helpful for us is trying to make sure that those small steps are things that we can track, that we can measure, and that we can actually do and say that, yes, I did that. No, I didn't do that. Because the problem with saying I want to sound like a native speaker is, well, how do you know when you're there? How do you know when you made it? Okay. David said he's going to fly there. Good luck. um, it's really hard to measure. It's like, how do you know when you're ready? How do you know? And so what we need to do is we instead need to think about what are some things we can actually track. So let's say that if the goal is I want to sound more like a native speaker, let's start off thinking about what are some actual skills that native speakers have that you want. Okay, so maybe for instance, you're like, oh, you know what? Native speakers pause more than I pause when I talk. This is something I've noticed. They are able to use pauses, and I don't pause in my speech. Okay, so if I identify that characteristic, I can make a smaller, concrete goal. I can say, hey, the next time I talk with someone, I'm going to have 1 2 second pause. I'm going to pause for 2 seconds the next time I talk with someone. That is one example of a little step I can make. Another thing you may notice that, oh, native speakers use a wide range of pitches. They go really high sometimes, and they also go lower. Okay, so my goal is going to be, and again, we're focusing on pronunciation goals. um, but if you're like, okay, if they use a higher range of pitches, that means, okay, another goal I could have. I'm going to practice pitch scales every day for 3 minutes. I'm going to practice doing like this. Maybe doing the opposite. This. I'm going to practice that, you know, 2 minutes a day, 3 minutes a day. Another thing is I'm going to maybe then again next time I talk with someone, I'm going to try to say something like really high and then also something really low. So next time I talk with someone, I'm gonna have something with a high pitch and then also something with a low pitch. Okay. That's the example of another goal. Let's give maybe one final goal that hopefully can give you some examples. I see World Friends is here. What's up? They have a quick little question for
What's
us. Should I use nose or mouth to breathe when speaking? When we talk, the breath is leaving out through your mouth for most sounds because English doesn't have that many nasal sounds. Um, so you're probably going to have a lot of air moving out of your mouth. What do you do in your first language? Um, a final goal is maybe you notice that native speakers they have longer thought groups. That's something we talk a lot about. So okay, so your goal is okay. The next time I talk with someone, I'm going to try to make sure that every single one of my thought groups has at least 5 words in it. Okay, so next time I talk with someone, I'm going to make sure that every single one of the thought groups I use has at least 5 words. No more 2 word thought groups, 3 word thought groups. Has to have at least 5. And maybe I'll have an even bigger challenge. Maybe I'll have I want to have at least one thought group that has at least 10 words in it. I want to have one thought group that has at least 10 words in it. That's what that would kind of sound like. Okay. Um, Regardless, hopefully this kind of gives you an idea. So have your big overarching goal. That's the goal that's upstairs. And then we need to think about the little goals. What are the small steps we're going to take that we can track, that we can measure, that we can see that, oh, I put my foot on that step, so I know I did it, that can move us closer to the goal we're looking for. Okay. If one of your goals is specifically, maybe you notice that, like, oh, vowel sounds. I noticed that I confuse vowel sounds. So I noticed that I say lock when I mean to say luck or things like that. Okay. Um, I just do want to give a quick shout out to Elsa, who else makes these streams possible. Elsa can actually help you with your goals as well, especially for like those tiny pronunciation goals. If you're like, okay, I need to stop confusing these vowel sounds. So I'm going to say lock and luck 2 times in a conversation today before I go to bed. That could be an example of another goal. Another example would be using, for instance, Elsa, the pronunciation test there to I don't know, maybe using it for like 5 minutes a day just to practice minimal pairs and confusing vowel sounds and things like that. A quick note that if you are interested in also, they have a free pronunciation test you can take, and they also have some free premium access so you can do some exercises and things like that to get you closer to your goals. If, for instance, vowel sounds and consonant sounds are something you're really working on. Okay. Regardless of what your goals are, though, think about the big goal, think about the small steps that get you there, and keep me posted on your progress. Okay. I will see you all guys all later. Thanks for hanging out with me. There's a lot of pronunciation resources out there. I'm not dumb. I'm aware of that. So the fact that you are here with me is greatly appreciated. I'll see you all later. Have a good day. Have a good night and a good afternoon.